welcome back to the Groomsman. Doing a Black Friday shave. I'm not doing any sales. It's Friday, Black Friday. Got some razors in today, so I'm gonna use it. I haven't shaved in 5 days. I've got some Noxzema pre-shave cream. It's been sitting on my face while I built my lather. It's a little dried out, but I'll put some water on there again in a second. For the soap, I'm using Rendezvous by 345. This is a dupe of Versace Pour Homme, and it smells fantastic. It's a really, really nice, light men's cologne scent. It's Versace Pour Homme. It's exactly what it smells like. It smells fantastic. I get a ton of compliments. My wife really, really loves it. I do have the EDP for this one as well, getting kind of low. Just bought on the Black Friday sales a Versace Pour Homme dupe from Dua. They had a sale going on for Black Friday, and so I picked up some stuff for my wife for Christmas presents, and then a couple EDPs for myself, and that was one of them because I really like the Versace. This is the EDT strength, I think. It says cologne, but then there's site, I think it's the EDP, but then I thought I said it EDT, so I'm not really sure what scent strength this is. It works pretty good. It smells great. I sprayed it on this morning. I do still have some on my arm. It's still there. It doesn't last as long as some of my other colognes, but it's a lighter scent, and the lighter scents tend to not last as long, but it smells fantastic. The 345 base is outstanding. You get a huge tub. They have really reasonably priced soaps as well. I haven't checked on their stuff recently. I've had this one for a little while. But good stuff. Got it all lathered up here with my Semouge Owners Club boar brush. Here it's all, it's a really nice, thick, super thick lather. Really nice. But for the shave today, I got in the mail today the new winning razor. This came out this week. I think he released it, it was Monday or Tuesday at 8 p.m. He put a post on Facebook and Instagram, I think, for the release date. Not a whole lot of notice. And then I think I checked at like 7:55 Eastern time, and then it was already available, and I hit add now and bought it real quick. And he said he built 60 of these for the initial release, and they sold out within the first 12 minutes, which is pretty crazy, but not super crazy because this is an awesome razor. So this is obviously the winning 2.0. There's a lot of cool differences here. This is the original winning. Same head. You can kind of tell like they're pretty similar, but there's some different characteristics. So right off the start, this handle here, you got much better grooving. This handle is super slick. These little notches he has in here, they don't really work well for keeping the handle still. When it's wet, this will slip right out. It's one of the things I didn't like that much about the winning. So usually when I use this razor, I put a different handle in there, a Razor Rock handle or Timeless or whatever I got. But I use a different handle with it because it's just so slippery. This one, the grooving is much better. We'll find out how it works when my fingers are wet, but I think it's going to be like, the grooving is very present. Instead of it being recessed grooving, it's outward grooving. So I think it'll work a lot better for slippage control. As far as the base, there's all kinds of changes he made on this stuff. So the top cap changed a little bit. He flattened out the top of the top cap, but overall the geometry is still the same. He just kind of flattened out and took some of the excess metal at the top cap, which will probably reduce weight a little bit there. And then for the base plate, still top cap, he added these grooving on the top here. Can you guys see that? And it was totally smooth on the original winning. And then he added these groovings on this faceplate edge, which is kind of where you put it against your face. He said he put that chamfering, I think. It's supposed to help reduce the drag and add a little bit more like smoothness to the shave on your face. Some people reported getting a draggy feeling with the original winning. I kind of know what they're talking about, but it doesn't bother me. I don't get a real drag. For me, it's smooth, but I get what they're talking about. I did get it once, and I had kind of a dry lather, so I just make sure of a wet lather. But that's just me. And then the base plate, I'll see he took a bunch of the metal out there and made it more recessed, so the stabilizer pins kind of stick out just a little bit more. And then he changed the lather holes, which weren't really lather holes, these little portholes in the bottom there on the original winning. They didn't really work very well for lather pass through. These kind of got clogged with the lather, and then that kind of contributed to the suction feeling that some people felt. But I also kind of had a feeling that was kind of why the winning was so efficient with a neutral blade exposure. But he did change that out. He had these nice large channels for the lather pass through. We'll see how that works, if it contributes or takes away from the shave. I'm really excited, but I hope these changes didn't take away from what I think makes this winning razor an awesome razor. But I have it loaded up here with a Gillette 7 o'clock Super Platinum, a trusted blade that I am very familiar with and works 99.9% of the time. It did come with a tuck of Tatara Platinum blades, but I haven't used those yet. I don't want to use a new blade with this shave. So obviously my face has gotten kind of dry. That process kind of mostly faded away, but you can see I got like 5 days growth. I haven't shaved all week. It's been a lazy week. Add some water. You can see that Praso, or the, I keep saying Praso, the Noxema face cream kind of showed up a little bit more there. It's definitely still there. I just lather on top of it, just like I would any other pre-shave. I've meant to shave more this week. It's just, I've been feeling kind of crummy. I think I mentioned that on my last video. I've had the fall crud, been coughing. Look, that's pretty much it. I've been coughing, got some chest congestion. My kids got it. My wife's finally getting better. My kids and me are still coughing, or at least my daughters. And my son seems to be okay. I know I've talked about using straight razors on channel. It's still coming. I promise. I'm not backing out on that. I got a couple picked out, and what I think I'm going to do for that is I'm going to shave just a with the grain pass with the straight razor for about 30 days and get really competent on that. I think I've been trying to do too much at once, and I read some more of their forums for like beginners and stuff, and that was kind of a pretty standard recommendation. The 30-day, stick with it is kind of standard, but I read a couple posts where it said just do the with the grain for 30 days. Practice just doing that one and getting the angles down right and your kind of muscle memory down, and just clean up with the DE or an SE or whatever you normally use. And then after you're feeling confident on that and it's going well, then start adding, across the grain or against the grain on your neck, and then against the grain on your cheeks is kind of like the final step, which I found problems with trying to do so far with the shavette or with the straight razor. Like trying to get against the grain, I can't quite. It doesn't want to go smooth. It just wants to catch. Maybe I'm not doing enough with the skin stretching, but I'll figure it out. I'm still wanting to figure out and get a handle on straights. I just got a new one today. Actually, I bought off Macari. Stay Sharp. I do got a little nick off the scales here at the top. It's still usable that way, but I'm gonna get the scales replaced. And but the blade is in fantastic condition. If you can, chromized steel, Stay Sharp. I mean, there's like no pitting, almost no tarnish at all. I got like just a little bit of tarnish like right up here, but it's super shiny, super good shape. Vintage razor. This is sold by Sears and Roebuck back in the day. I thought it was pretty awesome. Got a good deal on it. I do got like one little spot of tarnish right there. Whatever, no big deal. I'm gonna send this out. I'm gonna take advantage of Razor Emporium's Black Friday deal. I'm gonna go place an order for that here later today. They got 25% off, I think, on everything on their site. So I'm gonna buy some razor services. I'm gonna send a couple straights in, get some new scales, and get it honed up and all freshened up and sent back. It should be pretty fun. But the winning 5 days growth. Feels a little louder. It might just be because I'm shaving 5 days growth. But no tugging at all. Super smooth. I was a little worried about that. I mean, do you guys want to see the shot with all the whiskers? If you don't, look away. But if you were curious, I mean, it's just mowing down the whiskers here. Kind of threw some lather across my bathroom. Rinse is super easy. Does nice, the channels on the bottom, the lather just comes right out, so. I don't feel those grooves. I was kind of curious how that would feel on the face, on the base plate grooves. Or chamfering, I'm not sure what he calls it. I might have picked up that word from somewhere else. can't tell. I mean, they're both listed the same exposure and geometry and everything. Kind of feels like I got a little bit more blade fill on this one. I don't know why. Not uncomfortable by any means. Very smooth. So far, I'm liking it. I was a little worried that I wouldn't like it as much as the original winning, that maybe the changes he made might have changed how it felt for me. And in like a not positive way, but so far it's great. Now the winning was originally sold from the Wet Shaving Club. It was made by Yates, sold via the Wet Shaving Club. It's like a commission thing. And I don't know if the Wet Shaving Club designed the original winning or if Yates also designed it. I just know they machined it. And then Yates earlier this year bought the Wet Shaving Club to include their razor model, so this one in America. And brought the America back. Also, it's come out in a couple different finishes now. I think it's stainless steel and brass and titanium. And I know Scott just did a titanium review because he was using Paez's, which is getting, you know, they talk great things about it. I've used America, but I found that I like the winning a little more. That was a great first pass though. Super smooth. I mean, easily took out 5 days growth. Even with that, I mean, you can see there's like there's no real blade gap there. There's no, sometimes when you get razors like that where there's almost no blade gap, it makes it hard to take down multiple days growth just because it gets clogged up real easy, but this is just not having that issue at all. Neutral blade exposure, I think I said that. Hope you guys' Thanksgiving went well. Had a pretty good Thanksgiving. We kept it nice and light. I just had, you know, my wife and my kids over. We didn't have like a whole big party going on or nothing. My mom came over for some dessert. Second Thanksgiving, I guess she had some food too. She went over to my brother's house for dinner with them, and then came over to our house and hung out for the rest of the evening. And it was nice. Great hanging out with the kids. Nice having a nice 4-day weekend with them. Here, you know, start with the big holidays. We like Christmas around here. We already decorated. So our whole living room and everywhere it's got Christmas lights and the tree and decorations, and I got like this weird little bell thing. It's got on a timer and you turn it on, and there's like 12 different bells and they all ding and sing out Christmas carols. And we like the Christmas season around here. I know for some people that's too early. But for me, for my family, Thanksgiving is just a day. Christmas is a season. I do need to find a replacement bulb for my tree. One of the strings went out on this. It's a pre-lit tree, and one of the bulbs broke. So that little string of lights on towards the bottom isn't working, which is kind of weird. But I guess the weird part is I can't find a replacement bulb. And then I didn't realize that every brand of lights and trees and everything, they use their own like proprietary shape for the bulbs. So you can't just buy one, stick it in, it won't fit. Or it'll fit, but it's not long enough and it won't reach the connectors. You're not getting any electricity. It's kind of silly. So I'm still trying to find the right bulb. I'm loving this. This is feeling great. I am liking it more than the original so far. Obviously the against the grain pass is where it's going to kind of. Fantastic. Now, if you missed out, obviously, you know, there's only 60 razors. He is coming out with more. It wasn't like a one and done thing. He says they're already machining more as he speaks. They have plans for a second one. I think next week there'll be another release, and it's going to be a continuous release. It's not going to be a special release. He's going to have those in stock and available on a normal basis now, like his other razors. He said there is plans in the future to do other materials as well. He didn't have any dates on that. I think he was kind of waiting to see how well this release went and everything. But I think he'll probably do the brass and the titanium just like he did with America. Now, will I buy it? If he'd come out at the same time, like if he'd released all those options this week, I might have bought the titanium over the stainless steel. Now that I have the stainless steel, I don't know that I'll buy the titanium version. I could just sell this and, you know, whatever, take a loss on it and then put that money towards the titanium, but I don't know that I'd like it anymore. Maybe if I wanted to put money into it and then like send it out somewhere, because the titaniums you can get anodized. Some of those anodized colors look pretty cool. Blues and greens and purples and rainbows, depending on how much you want to spend, and they're pretty neat. But I think I'm pretty happy with this. I didn't want to talk about the cost. 60 bucks? 75 bucks. I already forgot. I think it was 75. So a little bit more than the original one cost. Oh, which way am I going? I think the original one, so the original one I think was listed at like 55 or something, but then they offered like 10% discounts for new people coming to the store for the first time, and then some other discount, and so they were constantly selling these for like 40 bucks or less. I think his sales model initially was numbers over gross product, you know, he's mass selling them, and then they decided to just stick with the winning and discontinued this, stick with America, and they discontinued the winning because I think it wasn't profitable enough at that selling point. I don't know. I'm glad Jake bought it. I'm glad he brought it back. I'm glad he made some changes. So far, against the grain, this is super smooth. Like, not even tugging a little bit on these against the grain passes. Does seem a little more vocal, a little more auditory feedback than the original version. I assume that has to do with the opened lather channel there, allows a little bit more acoustics. Not that it matters, but it is pleasing. I don't know why, but it is. It's funny, my wife, she hears that sound, she's like, oh my God, that sounds so painful. I'm like, nah, not even a little bit. Now this is sold as a machined. There's no polish done to it. But that being said, I find it has more of a polished appearance than the original winning did stock. It's hard to tell on mine. I did a light polish on mine myself. Oh, see, slippery fingers, that handle. So it's kind of, I can't really compare it, you know, to show you that, because this one's a little bit more polished than it was when I first got it. But it was pretty machined. It definitely adds a little bit of shine, and it definitely made it more slippery when I polished it up. This one has a really nice shine to it, even though it's a machine finish. There's not a whole lot of machine marks on there, comparatively speaking. Like, I want to talk a little bit of crap here, but I just had the Osprey razor, which if you guys saw my reviews, ended up not keeping it. I ended up selling it off because it was just not working for me, and I was getting a lot of irritation. But that was also a machined razor at $350. And I would say the machine marks, not counting this, you know, kind of chamfering, whatever that he did intentionally on that one face, but like on the top, the machining on this is much less noticeable. It looks more polished than the machining version that came out from Blackland. Just something out there. It looks really slick. It's got that nice kind of grooving. I don't know if you can see it under here on the base plate. Let me take it off real quick and show you. Very slick. I dig the razor. I got a couple little weepers there. Not totally surprising. I was kind of buffing there a little bit there, but I mean, that's it. And that's a great shave. I'm gonna do a little touch up right here like I always do in a cold water splash. I'll be right back for my final review statement on this, and we'll talk a little bit more. Some post-shave activity. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. So a little bit of touch-ups, nice cold water splash. And I get one little weeper right there. I'm buffing a little too much. But it was excellent. One of the best shaves I've ever had. It's super easy to use, super smooth. There's no hunting for angles. It's got just a little bit of blade feel with that neutral exposure. I mean, there's some, which is kind of weird. Some with like neutral blade exposure, you don't feel the blade at all, but you feel the blade a little bit. It's there. You can feel it and hear it doing its job. And it's just so smooth. It's perfect. I love the winning. I think everything he did on this razor made it better. I do really like the handle. I'm going to keep this handle on here instead of having to switch. It does make it, like, I didn't have any issues with this slipping out of my hand at all. The way he did the knurling on this compared to the original one, loads better. And it looks really nice too. Feels great in the hand. These little grooves on here, you don't feel them on your face at all. Or at least I didn't feel them on my face at all. I didn't have any suction issues. There's no like draggy feeling for me at all. Oh, nick there. Overall, I think everything he did, the razor came out perfect. I think it is just as smooth as the original one. I think it's anyone that had issues with it before are not gonna have issues now. The lather rinse through, there's like 0 clogging issues, even with that like almost minuscule blade gap. Like there's almost no space there, but still the lather passes right through. It rinses super easy. I didn't have any issues taking down 5 days growth. So this is not going to be one of those razors where some are like, oh, I get really heavy growth and I got to have a really big blade gap. No. I had 5 days growth. I have pretty heavy growth. No issues at all. No tugging. Super smooth against the grain. I mean, the winning, there's a reason why I love the winning so much. I mean, the winning is probably my favorite razor. It's everything I like in a razor. It's smooth. There's not a lot of blade feel. It's easy to use. It works with almost any blade out there. I don't know that I've had a bad blade in the winning. It's great. This is the machining that I love. Everything about it is great. Jake, you did an awesome job. I love this razor. I'm excited to see what else it comes out with the other options, the brass and the titanium, if he's going to do exactly the same, it's just different material, if he's going to change the handles at all. I love it. I love the razor. Fantastic. I do think it did add a little bit more from the original winning. It does, you know, that lather rinse through is a little bit easier. Not having any issues there. And the handle is superb compared to the original one. Using that matching splash there, the 345 Rendezvous, Versace Pour Homme. They got a nice splash here too. Witch hazel, alcohol, water, hydrovance, rose, hydrosol, jojoba oil, almond oil, apricot oil, soap proteins, aloe vera, vitamin E, and good old polysorbate 20. But it's a nice alcohol-based splash, but still with lots of skin food. Little sting there, a little on my neck. I did do some buffing there, but not bad. It's so smooth. I really love it. Some people don't like to get the the razors with the neutral blade exposure because they think they're not efficient enough. I mean, everyone's face is different, so I can't promise anything to you. But for me, I don't think that's necessarily a deciding factor. It has a lot to do with geometry and how that blade is cutting. And for me, this razor with a neutral blade exposure is very efficient. More efficient than the Henson or the Henson plus, the aggressive version of the Henson. I have that as well, and I like it. But this is more efficient, both this and the original Winning, even with that neutral blade exposure. The angle he's got on there, the geometry is perfect. And it just leaves for a very close shave, very smooth, almost irritation free. I got a little irritation there, but that was mostly my fault. It's fantastic razor, fantastic shave. I'm super excited to have gotten it. Highly recommend it. Don't have to worry about any FOMO out there. He's putting more out there, and it's going to be in stock, for the foreseeable future. So it's going to be, anytime you want to go there and buy one, like the 92N Yates or the America or anything else now, it's going to be a standard stable stock in the store. So check it out. Hope you liked the video. I'm going to spray on some more of this EDP here when I change out my wet shirt. And that's the shave. Hope to see you back here soon. We'll do a little straight razor shave for at least the width to grain pass in my next one. I'm going to use this Giraffe razor. I have no idea where it's from, except that it was made in Germany. And it was sold by Robert's Supply House in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But it's trademarked. I couldn't find anything about it out there. But it's a bigger hollow ground, bigger blade. I don't know how big these are. I'm not an expert on straights. Scales are kind of cool, although it's got a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it. It's not really a crack, but the material there has kind of got that weird starburst where it kind of probably got squished a little bit at some point. But completely functional. And I did hone this up myself, not knowing what I'm doing. I used some lapping paper, which was kind of fun. The whole process was pretty fun, actually. Shaves pretty good on my arm, super smooth. Just chops that hair right off. So we'll see how it works on my face. I got high hopes that will probably be dashed, but it'll be a fun experiment. I hope to see you here for it. And then, like I said, I'm sending a couple more straights off to Razor Emporium. Probably get those back. I imagine it'll probably take a few weeks shipping out there and the whole process and shipping back and a holiday shipping and all that. But I'm going to send out the Stay Sharp for sure. And then I think I have a Wade & Butcher Elite. No, I can't remember. It's a Wade & Butcher though. Looks pretty cool. I just don't have it sitting out here to show you. But I'm probably going to send those two out there for honing and this one to get some new scales because it's got that broken scale. So probably going to get one shaped exactly the same. They look pretty cool. But that's the shave. I'll see you here next time for the straight shave. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving holiday and a fantastic weekend with your family. And I'll see you next time.